Welcome back to another episode of No Shame with Shane. I'm your host, Shane Fordham, with all the shameless sports takes. Now, the Eagles are getting ready for the draft this week, and I gotta say, the Eagles are in a much better position than any other team, or almost any other team in the NFL heading into this draft. The stakes, the draft is always important, don't get me wrong, but the Eagles are just such a complete team. Just from top to bottom, offense to defense, even the way it's built right now, the Eagles are by far a top two, if not one, most complete team in the NFL. On offense, we're good at quarterback. Jalen Hurts being a top five quarterback in the league, being a winner, being able to execute an offense with his arm, being able to create with his legs. We already have a world-class running back in Saquon Barkley. We have a dynamic receiver room in A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, number 3 in Jahan Dotson, who we didn't even really get to see much of last year because of our utilization of Saquon Barkley, still trying to get the ball around to Dallas Goedert, A.J., Devontae Smith. But you look at Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson is really, in my opinion, going to be a secret weapon for this offense this year, especially if the Eagles go through with trading Dallas Goedert, who tends to be a little injury prone during the season. My point is the receiving room is deep, but then you got to look at this offensive line as well. Howard Roseman did a great job of bolstering up this O-line this offseason, making sure everybody was paid, everybody's extended. Cam Jurgens just got extended today, a Pro Bowl center, his first full year starting, basically his rookie year. This is really a complete team. Then you look at the defense. One of the best D lines in the NFL, Jalen Carter, who had a great year last year, came up huge in the playoffs last year, along with Nolan Smith, who only got better as the year progressed. Jalen Carter, he's going to be getting a bag after this season, well-deserved bag. Then you got our linebackers, arguably the best linebacking core in the NFL, with a healthy Nakobe Dean, a defensive player in the year candidate in Zach Bond. Then you look at our young secondary, a secondary that was locking everybody up last season. One of the best secondaries in the NFL. Quinion Mitchell, who really played like the best corner in the NFL last year. Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, another defensive rookie of the year candidate. Reed Blankenship. This is really a star-studded squad from top to bottom. Honestly, the Eagles really have the best. I mean, the Eagles really have the best players at each position on the field. At every major position on the field, the Eagles have the best player in the league. Jalen Hurts at quarterback is a top 2 quarterback in the league. You already know what I think about Jalen Hurts. The Eagles have the best running back in the league in Saquon Barkley. The Eagles have the best O-line in the league. Lane Johnson being being arguably the best tackle in the NFL. Cam Jurgens being a top 3 center in the NFL. Jordan Mailata being up there in regards to tackles in the NFL. Landon Dickerson, arguably the best guard in the league. Our receiving room speaks for itself. A.J. Brown looking like really a top 3, top 4 receiver in the league. Devontae Smith, arguably the best or second best number 2 option in the NFL. Our defense, it really goes to show the Eagles are stacked from top to bottom as far as our roster is concerned. So if we're looking at this draft, considering that the Eagles are so stacked, to me, I think the offense is more of a sure thing than the defense, which is saying a lot because the defense is obviously up there. The defense last season led the NFL in yards and least amount of yards allowed per game, least amount of passing touchdowns allowed per game. So that's saying a lot. So because of how stacked our team is as a whole, I think it doesn't hurt the Eagles to add more depth to the defense. If we're thinking about what the Eagles need in the draft this week, I'm thinking because of how stacked we are from top to bottom throughout the roster, I think it doesn't hurt to add more depth to the defense. Like, if we're looking at the prospects this year, one name that I'm for sure looking at is Shamar Stewart. Shamar Stewart is definitely a guy who I am looking at if I'm the Eagles. I'm looking at Shamar Stewart heavily. I mean, 6'6, 290. We're talking about a positionless football player here. I mean, Shamar Stewart can really play. Shamar Stewart is honestly, to me, the most underrated prospect in this draft. And I say that because he doesn't really, if his stats were a little flashier, he would probably be seen as a projected top 10 pick in the draft this year. Honestly, the most underrated pick in the draft this year. Not really seen as, an early first round guy because of his stats. His stats weren't really flashy this year. Only had 1.5 sacks this year, 1.5 sacks last year, 1.5 sacks the year before last year. But this guy is honestly one of the biggest freaks, if not the biggest freak in the draft this year. I mean, everything like stat wise, it's not flashy, but if you're watching this guy in game, if you're watching his tape, this guy does a lot on the field that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. We're talking about a natural disruptor that is also a freak of nature. 6'6", 290, but he moves like he's 6'1", 230. He has a natural, he has an elite combination of strength and speed. We're talking about a guy that can collapse a pocket. I mean, he can really do anything on the front four. He honestly reminds me. I mean, at Texas A&M, they honestly used him in so many different ways on that front four. Like, he was lined up as a nose tackle at some points during the game. He was lined up in a 5-tech, kind of outside shade of the tackle as an edge rusher. I mean, he was playing every position on the D line. Honestly, Shamar Stewart reminds me of a bigger Brandon Graham and Ryan Kerrigan. As Eagles fans, we know Brandon Graham was a guy you could move around at and play him at any spot on that D line. You could have him be more of an interior D lineman, be more of a nose tackle guy, or you could have him set an edge and come off an edge, be a true edge guy. Ryan Kerrigan was used in a similar fashion in Washington. Like, Shamar Stewart honestly has that build and capability. He's just bigger. Like, he's literally as versatile as Brandon Graham and Ryan Kerrigan, but he's bigger and faster. He's a freak of nature. Like this guy, even though he wasn't really racking up a lot of sacks himself in college, what he was doing on the field, like his work in collapsing the pockets, allowed for his teammates to get sacks. Like, he didn't get sacks because the quarterback was always running away from him behind the line of scrimmage towards one of his teammates. Like, Shamar Stewart is a dude. Like, Shamar Stewart is honestly one of my favorite prospects in this draft because of how versatile and dangerous he is. He can beat an offensive line with strength. He can beat him with speed. Like, and honestly, we're talking about a guy that doesn't even really have that deep of a bag right now. I mean, he's 21 years old. So he's doing what he's doing at 21 years old. And as a 6'6", 290 defensive lineman, like, he doesn't need, so the fact that he is doing what he is doing, working with the 1 to 2 moves that he has in his arsenal right now, that's got to be a huge upside for NFL teams. Because you're gonna learn and develop more as a player once you take that next step. Like, that's not a hard, like, you can't really teach in-game strength and in-game elite speed and quickness. You obviously can't teach size, but you can teach moves. Like, you can teach technique coming off the line. Like, the fact that he is doing what he is doing with basic speed to power moves, basic rip moves coming off the edge, He's not even doing anything. He's not even doing anything too complex, and is still one of the most efficient and effective D linemen in this draft class. To me, that screams superstar in the making. That screams superstar in the making. Like, I look at Shamar Stewart, I'm looking at a guy that could really grow to be an elite pass rusher in the NFL. Like, I look at Shamar Stewart and I honestly see the potential of being a Myles Garrett, a TJ Watt, a Micah Parsons, a Nick Bosa, tier one type of defender in the NFL. Like, he has those intangibles with him. Like, if he gets if he gets into the league with a competent D line coach who is able to help him develop and show him how to use his hands, show him how to sort of add more tools into his bag, more moves as opposed to just a basic rip or just a basic run through you type of move, like teaching him how to use more of a combination of pure power and finesse. I mean, jump through, arm overs, swim moves. I mean, like this guy isn't even really doing anything special in college and is still really, in my opinion, one of one of the most talented guys in this draft. If I'm the Eagles, that's really the first guy I'm looking at, because I'm looking at a guy like that who has the tools that he has at this age. I'm thinking about what he could grow into playing alongside a superstar in the making as well in Jalen Carter, playing alongside a star in the making in Nolan Smith, playing alongside a Jordan Davis in the mix. Like, I mean, there's so many. I mean, there's just so many good things that that can come with Shamar Stewart entering in the NFL, especially when you add him into this mix, this D-line mix that is already in Philly. You got solid edge rushers already, up and coming edge rushers already in Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, Azeez Ojulari. Like, this could honestly make the D-line even more dangerous than it was last year. With Shamar Stewart, I honestly see a 2022 Eagles D line with a 2023 with the 2024 Eagles secondary. With Shamar Stewart, with the Eagles picking up Shamar Stewart, I see them recreating a 2022 Eagles D line and a 2024 Eagles secondary. That is dangerous, because in 2022 the Eagles by far had the best D-line in the NFL. Really one of the best D-lines of all time, putting up historic sack numbers, setting the record for most sacks ever in a single season by a team. Then obviously this year in 2024, the Eagles had the best secondary in the NFL. Now, granted, I know we're missing CJ Gardner-Johnson, but we still have these key, and Darius Slay, but we still have these key pieces to use. I mean, we still have two defensive rookie of the year candidates in Quinion and Cooper DeJean. We still have a fantastic safety in Reed Blankenship. And then we also have a Kelee Ringo who showed a lot of promise last season, who's going to be stepping up more into a starting position. We also add an Adoree Jackson, a savvy vet, and Adoree Jackson to that mix. I honestly see Shamar Stewart just being icing on the cake. Just being icing on the cake. I would be surprised if Shamar Stewart actually makes it to the Eagles pick in the 30s. I would be surprised to see this guy on the board after 24, honestly. I'd be surprised to see Shamar Stewart still on the board after 24 to 25. But according to some mock drafts, it's possible he could slip to us. The NFL, if the NFL lets Shamar Stewart slip to the Eagles, that's going to be a problem. Now you're talking about a D-line with a freak like Jalen Carter, a freak in nature like Jordan Davis, a freak in nature like Nolan Smith, like just a already a freakishly talented D-line. Then you add another freak to the mix in a 6'6", 290 Shamar Stewart. A guy who moves like he is 6'2", 6'1", 230, 240. That's scary. That is scary. But if Shamar Stewart isn't available, the next person I'm looking at is Donovan Ezaraku from Boston College. I honestly think, Donovan Ezaraku is another one of those underrated guys, in my opinion. I definitely think Shamar Stewart is the most underrated prospect in this draft class, but Donovan Ezaraku is right behind him, in my opinion. I honestly think Ezaraku has a deeper bag than Abdul Carter. I think Donovan Ezaraku has a deeper bag than Abdul Carter because of his size and strength. Like, honestly, watching their tape, I see Abdul Carter as more of a speed rusher. No doubt Abdul Carter is the best defender in this class. No doubt. Bona fide All-American stud. I mean, he can come into the league making an impact for sure. I definitely think he'll make a bigger immediate splash than Chop Robinson did coming out of Penn State last year, going to Miami. But looking at Donovan Ezaraku, I honestly think he has a bigger arsenal and a deeper bag than Abdul Carter, which is saying a lot. I mean, Donovan Ezaraku is another one of those guys who has a good combination of strength and speed. I mean, definitely a deeper bag than Shamar Stewart. You know, he definitely seems like a more of a mature pass rusher, but still as a younger guy, which is good to see. Like his first move is very efficient, but he is also very good. Like he's also very elite in his counter moves. Like if his first move off the line doesn't work, like if his first rip move, if his first initial move doesn't work, if his first arm over move doesn't work, his counter moves are also elite. Like he is very elite at, okay, if the rip's not working, spin off the tackle, spin off the tackle and attack the B gap. Like if the jump arm over, if the jump through arm over move doesn't work, retracing and either turning that into just a straight bull rush, or like if the speed step, if the quick step off the line doesn't work, doesn't beat the offensive tackle, his elite next move would be speed to power, just getting up in his chest and going through him. He is very elite at counter moves as well. Like he's very good at reading the offensive tackle, reading the blocker, and adapting to the situation, adapting to the set that he sees to ensure that he is in the pocket and is sitting in the quarterback's lap. Like I really enjoy Donovan Ezaraku. I really enjoy watching him play because I honestly think he is the second best pass rusher in this draft class. Donovan Ezaraku to me is more of an established pass rusher to me, or no, more of just an all-around better edge guy than James Pierce Jr., than Mike Green. I mean, I think he's more balanced than Abdul Carter. Like, I think Donovan Ezaraku has one of the deepest bags in this draft class in terms of D-line guys. I think Donovan Ezaraku could be a huge threat, could be a huge asset to the Eagles as well. And I think he honestly has the potential to be a starter for the Eagles this year. I mean, in the right system, he could be a starter really on any team, but looking at the Eagles specifically, that is a guy who could come in and be a starter. For sure. For sure. He's his patience, like he's not only explosive and quick off the line, like he can not only beat a tackle with speed, but he can also, if he catches a tackle leaning, destroy a line with power, destroy the tackle with strength with the speed to power move. But he's also really patient. Like he has great gap patience. He has great gap integrity. Like I see, like he just comes off as a mature player. 6'2", 247. I mean, he's a good size edge rusher. Like Donovan Ezaraku, honestly, I think has the tools to be a very gifted DN/edge in the NFL. So that's another guy that I would be looking at. And honestly, because of who the Eagles could potentially get with their pick late in the first round. That's another reason why I don't see I don't see it. I don't see it being worth it trading up to get Abdul Carter. Like for example, like looking at the theories with the Eagles possibly trading AJ Brown to the Patriots and in exchange for that fourth draft for the fourth overall draft pick, I just don't see that being worth it. Like Abdul Carter, like I said, is the best defender in this class, but it's not head and shoulders to me. Like it's honestly not head and shoulders to me. Like I don't think like we're not talking about the Eagles having the potential of being able to grab a guy like Myles Garrett coming number one overall, Chase Young number one overall, who you know like one of those one of those highly anticipated prospect guys, potential number one overall guys. Like we're not like a Micah Parsons. Like we're not talking about trading up for a generational talent. Like I don't think Abdul Carter is a generational talent on the level of a Myles Garrett, for example. Like, especially to the point where we would have to give up AJ Brown. Like, he's definitely not worth AJ Brown to me. There's no way. Like, AJ Brown is a top 3 receiver in the NFL. There is no like I don't think the Eagles will do this trade. I don't think the Eagles will go through. I don't think Howie Roseman will go through with trading AJ Brown to the Patriots, reuniting him with Vrabel. You know, I don't think Howie Roseman will go through with the trade, but I also don't think he should. I don't think he should. Abdul Carter isn't worth it to me. He is not a generational talent, in my opinion. He is not he is not a freak of nature, you know, like you would see in a Myles Garrett, like you would see in a Micah Parsons, like you would see in a TJ Watt, like in a Nick Bosa. Like he's not one of those guys. He's the best defender in this class, but he's not one of those guys. Honestly, he's not like it's like the separation between him and the other defenders in this class isn't head and shoulders. Like it's not that big of a gap. Like the Eagles should definitely not go through with this trade, especially because we have the potential to get guys who, in my opinion, could have a higher ceiling than Abdul Carter in the NFL. Like I think Shamar Stewart honestly has a higher ceiling than Abdul Carter in the NFL. I think Donovan Ezaraku could honestly have a higher ceiling than Abdul Carter in the NFL. Like this is a very deep class for D linemen, let alone defensive guys. But looking at the D line group as a whole, edge rushers and interior D linemen, like this is a very deep class. With how deep this class is, there is no way we need to be trading one of our most potent weapons on offense, who is a elite, like who is an elite talent in the NFL for an Abdul Carter. There's just no way. Especially when we could retain our offense the way it is, meaning keep AJ Brown and still getting a guy who could potentially be a generational talent in the NFL in Shamar Stewart, but then also getting a guy who could also have a standout and breakout year his rookie year in Donovan Ezaraku. I mean, I see Donovan Ezaraku and Shamar Stewart being defensive rookie of the year candidates for sure. If they come to Philly, those are 2 guys that could be defensive rookie of the year candidates. And we wouldn't have to trade anything for him. we wouldn't have to trade anything for him. That would be a free gimme. That would be a free pickup. So I definitely don't think it would be worth trading AJ Brown for an Abdul Carter. But another reason why I don't think it would be worth it is because we have the potential to do bigger and better things, baby. We got the potential to do bigger and better things, baby. I mean, all the picks that we have, I've been hearing the rumors too. With all the picks that we have, we could potentially secure a talent like TJ Watt. Bro, if the Eagles, if the league allows TJ Watt to become an Eagle, you might as well chalk up the season now. Chalk it up, because you know where the Eagles are going to be come February this year or next year. You know where the Eagles are going to be. If the NFL allows TJ Watt to become an Eagle, they might as well chalk up the bracket now. Chalk up the tree, because you know there's nothing stopping the Eagles from getting to the Super Bowl if TJ Watt is in an Eagles uniform. TJ Watt as an Eagle will easily break the single season sack record this year. Easily. He already tied it a couple years ago. Michael Strahan's single season sack record, 22 and a half sacks. As an Eagle, he's breaking the sack record. He's breaking it, because as a Steeler, he matched the sack record having to face double teams almost every game. He easily matched the sack record having to see double teams almost every game, being held almost every game. As an Eagle, defenses couldn't risk doubling TJ Watt. Because if you double TJ Watt, that means they have to risk letting Jalen Carter get loose. They got to risk letting Nolan Smith get loose. They got to risk letting Jordan Davis get loose, Ojomu get loose, Azeez Ojulari, Jalix Hunt. But then especially if we were to draft a Donovan Izaraku or Shamar Stewart as well and securing TJ Watt, I mean, there's defenses could not risk doubling TJ Watt because of how deep this D line is. The Steelers have a great D line right now. Great D line right now. I mean, Cameron Hayward, Alex Highsmith, the Steelers have an overall good D line. They obviously have a great pass rush with TJ Watt, but they're not nearly as deep as this Eagles D line. Not nearly. You can afford to double team TJ Watt on the Steelers, because Cam Hayward isn't really known for being a pass rusher. He is a great interior D lineman. He can collapse a pocket. He is a run stopper for sure, but he's not known for being a pass rusher. Alex Highsmith is a really an underrated pass rusher in the NFL, but he doesn't have the intangibles that Nolan Smith does. He doesn't have the intangibles that Azeez Ojulari does. It's not as deep of a group over there. It's not as deep. If TJ Watt as an Eagle, he's gonna have a one-on-one matchup in every passing situation. That's dinner. That's easy money. TJ Watt one-on-one. You're telling me TJ Watt would be one-on-one, would have a clean one-on-one matchup the entire game in every passing situation? There aren't many offensive tackles in the NFL that can match TJ Watt one-on-one, especially for an entire game. It'll only be a matter of time for TJ Watt if it's a one-on-one matchup the entire game. I can count the amount of tackles that can match TJ Watt in a game on one hand. It's not a big list. The only tackles that come to mind are Lane Johnson, Penei Sewell, Trent Williams. Honestly, that's about it. There's not a lot of guys that can handle that type of matchup one-on-one for a whole game. Even the guys I mentioned would struggle having to have a one-on-one matchup with Watt all game. TJ Watt would be in a position that he has never been in before, where he is not all the focus is not solely on him. TJ Watt is coming from a situation where he is the defense, basically. He sets the tone on the defense. He would be coming to a situation where it wouldn't be on him to always light the fuse on defense. He would be joining a defense that literally had 2 defensive rookie of the year candidates, a defensive player of the year candidate in Zach Bond, an elite D line in the NFL, the best secondary in the NFL, all led by an assistant coach of the year candidate in Vic Fangio. Yo, the things that Vic Fangio would be able to do with a defense that has TJ Watt in it. I mean, the Eagles literally beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl without blitzing Patrick Mahomes a single time. You're adding TJ Watt to that unit. Like, you're adding TJ Watt to a unit that didn't have to blitz one time in the Super Bowl in a game that at one point was 40-6. TJ Watt on the Eagles would no doubt break the single season sack record. Would no doubt. And being an Eagle would set TJ Watt up for a bigger bag. I mean, we would only have 1 year with TJ Watt, and that 1 year would be a historic year. Like, that 1 year would be a historic year. I honestly don't see why the Eagles can't get over 70 sacks in a single season this season if TJ Watt becomes an Eagle. Like, the D-line we had in 2022 put up historic numbers, but a D-line that we had last year, in addition with TJ Watt added to that squad, they're clearing the 2022 D-line, no question. No question. You're adding a sack leader, a defensive player of the year in TJ Watt to a defense that was already the elite of the elite last year. There's no question. I mean, if like the NFL, honestly, I honestly would be shocked if the NFL allows this to happen. I hope this happens though, because for those who know me, y'all know TJ Watt is one of my favorite players in the NFL for good reason. I just like TJ Watt on an Eagles defense. I mean, y'all think the tush push is unfair. That would be unfair. And I'm not even ashamed to admit it. As an Eagles fan, that would be unfair, but I would love every second of it. I would love every second of it because honestly, Vic Fangio, all he would have to do is just do an umbrella coverage up top like all he did last year and just let our front four go to work. Let our front four go to work. Let Zach Bond and Nakobe Dean play midfield and let our front four go to work. TJ Watt and Nolan Smith coming off the edge. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis collapsing the pocket. No QB would be safe. No QB would be safe. And honestly, even with the schedule that we have coming up, which is going to be a tough schedule, like I don't see us losing more than 3 games if TJ Watt is in an Eagles uniform. I just don't see it. Like, I don't see the Eagles losing more than 3 games if TJ Watt is in an Eagles uniform. Honestly, with TJ Watt, the Eagles could honestly have one of the greatest defenses of all time. I mean, we already had arguably one of the greatest teams ever in NFL history last year. We already had one of the greatest teams in NFL history last year. You add TJ Watt to the mix, we would not only be the greatest team in the history of the NFL, but honestly, this defense alone could go down as a top 3 defense of all time. Just based off of a single season with an Eagles defense last year with a TJ Watt, a defensive player of the year in TJ Watt, could honestly go down as a top 3 defense of all time. That's the type of production that we could be looking at if TJ Watt is in an Eagles uniform this coming season. Which is all the more reason why the Eagles don't need to trade. Like, depending on what the Eagles would need to give up, there's no reason why the Eagles would need to be aggressive in trading up to get a guy like Abdul Carter if it means we are giving up one of our best offensive players in AJ Brown. Someone who is crucial in the passing attack in AJ Brown. It's just like there's just no reason we need to do that. Because also bringing in TJ Watt is also an investment to your young edge rushers in Philly. The edge rushing room is deep right now. Jalen Hunt, Azeez Ojulari, Nolan Smith. Like, you add TJ Watt into that mix, you're not only securing your path to the Super Bowl again, but you're also bringing in a vet and a mentor to sort of help develop your young guys. Like, there's no doubt Nolan Smith will become a better player playing alongside TJ Watt. There's no doubt Jalix Hunt will also become a better player, or at least more of a more of a student of the game, being able to learn up close from TJ Watt. There's no doubt playing alongside TJ Watt will make Azeez Ojulari a better player. Like, this is, I mean, this would just be an A+ move all around, not only for production of the defense, but also for the development of your young defensive guys looking a couple years down the road, looking towards the future. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Eagles do this year in the draft. But I mean, it's really, I mean, either way you look at it, it's a win. Like, it's going to be hard for the Eagles to not come out of this draft winning again. I mean, Howie Roseman he honestly has, like, I mean, either way you look, it's a great option. Like, we either come out with generational talent in the we either come out of this with a generational talent in TJ Watt, an all-time talent in TJ Watt. We come out of this with young talent that has high ceilings in Shamar Stewart or Donovan Ezaraku. Like, there are so many different ways the Eagles could. I mean, at this point, it's just really just icing on the cake. Anything the Eagles do on Thursday is really just going to be icing on the cake because of how complete this Eagles team already is. But that's all for today's edition of No Shame with Shane. If you haven't already, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to all of our social media platforms, and I will be back later on with more shameless takes.